Hi, I'm Movie Man. I'm an octopus who reviews movies. And today's review is going to be on I had seen the trailers for this movie and I thought it definitely looked quite interesting. And obviously this is directed by Ryan Coogler, who also directed the first Creed movie, which I really liked. And of course he also directed both of the Black Panther movies, which I quite liked them as well. I know he also did that movie Fruitvale Station, but I have not watched that in full. I've only seen a bit of that movie. But anyway, so now we have his brand new movie, Sinners. And yeah, it looks quite like an interesting film. I have to say, a period piece with vampires in it. Now, that definitely looks quite interesting to me. And as mentioned, you also have a solid cast in this, being led, of course, by not one, but two Michael B. Jordans, because obviously Michael B. Jordan plays a dual role in this. This definitely looks like an interesting movie for sure. So, I was definitely planning to give this a watch, and a few days before the movie came out, I started seeing, some of the reviews for it, and the reviews that I was seeing for this movie were giving it very high appraisal. There was even a period for a few days where the movie actually has a score of 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has gone down a little bit, but only a little. I think it has like a 97 or a 98, I think. This movie was definitely getting a lot of love, and it only made me all the more curious to check the movie out. So I went to see Sinners for myself there, a few days ago there now, as of the day that I am recording this review. The day I'm recording this, by the way, is April 22nd. But yeah, having seen Sinners for myself now, what did I think of it? I have to say, this movie most definitely deserves all the high appraisal that it's been getting. Oh my gosh, I absolutely loved this movie. Oh my god, I had a feeling from the trailers that this movie was going to be quite good. It definitely looks really interesting from the trailers, and I had a feeling it probably was going to be a really good movie, but I did not think it was going to be this good. Oh my god. This movie is freaking phenomenal. Holy crap. This was so damn good. I am blown away by just how good this was. Anyway, now getting into my thoughts on the movie. First off, the cinematography. My god, the cinematography is so good. It is so good. The way this movie is shot, like the different styles of camera shots in this movie, it's so good. Like all the different shots are really good. Like all like the overhead shots, like a lot of the shots like during the party, and even all these kind of really dark scenes. My goodness, they are shot so freaking well. Wow, the whole movie, if there is one particular standout scene that I have to mention, there is kind of this long take sequence in the movie. I don't want to get into it too much, but there's a scene where one of the characters in this film, Sammy, he's basically performing this song, at the club, and like, as he's performing the song, the camera is just constantly moving all throughout the club, and I won't really say any more about the scene other than that, because trust me, it's something you've got to see for yourself. Oh my god, that scene was so freaking good. The way it was shot, that whole, like, long take sequence. Just chef's kiss. I loved it so much, like, it was just so good. Yeah, I definitely have to give props to the film's cinematographer, because, man, cinematography in the movie is just excellent. The editing in the movie also, I have to say, is actually really good as well. Like, the way this movie is edited, like, it's kind of edited in this particular way, like, where, the movie will kind of cut between, like, some scenes with a few of these characters, and, we're kind of getting introduced to everybody. I honestly really liked it, though. I thought it actually really fit the movie, and, like, it was actually so good the way it was edited. Like, even, like, particularly during a lot of, like, the party scenes in the film, the editing is honestly quite good. I think especially, like, as the movie goes along during the film's third act, and especially during the climax of the movie, the editing is just really good. So overall, I would say that the editing in this movie is actually very good as well, and even during that scene, as I mentioned, the one long take sequence, like, even kind of some of the editing that they have during that scene, it's just so good. So overall, very good editing. In terms of the film's pace, now, I will say, this movie is actually long enough. Like, the runtime for this movie is 2 hours and 17 minutes, so it's actually a long enough movie, but I have to be honest though, I thought the movie was paced very well. Now, I will say, I don't know if like everybody's gonna love this film with like if you've seen like the trailers for this movie and stuff, then like you already kind of know that like there's gonna be all like this stuff like these vampires and they're gonna be attacking the people at the party and stuff. Yeah, I will say the movie actually takes a while to get to that because all throughout the good like first half of the movie we're being introduced to all these characters. The movie pretty much like gets us to know who all of these characters are like before we actually get to this party and stuff. And I said, I don't know if this is gonna work out for everyone because like like one or two people might get a little bored of this and stuff, but me personally though, I honestly really did not mind it. Like, if anything, I think it actually really works in the movie's favor because as we're being introduced to all of these characters, like, we're getting to kind of know who everyone is and stuff, and like, we're just getting all the setup, all the build up before we can actually get to this party. Like, we're being told who these people are, we're being told some of their backstories and stuff. If you ask me, I really appreciated that the movie did that and stuff because, like, I feel it actually did a really good job of, like, actually getting us to know who all these people are. And so then that way, later on in the movie, when all the stuff starts happening and, then the vampires come in and stuff, that way you're actually able to care about the characters. That way you actually care about what happens to them and stuff. I thought the movie did a really good job of that. I thought the pace really worked out, honestly, and even though this movie is over 2 hours long, I honestly didn't feel the runtime like that much at all, to be honest. I thought the movie went by really well. Like, honestly, I was just really engaged the whole way through, so I didn't mind the fact that the movie, had to have as long as the runtime as it did, because it did a great job with it. So, yeah, overall, I have to say, the pace in this movie is really, really good, and it uses its long enough runtime to its advantage. Now I need to talk about the sound and music in this film. Like, there's some very good sound effects in this movie, like the sounds of some of these vampires and even some of these other sound effects, like some of the gunshots, some of like the kind of sounds at the party and stuff. I think it's really well done, but I feel I especially need to talk about the music in this film because the music in this movie actually plays a huge role in the film overall. I would say the role that the music plays in this movie is just as big as the vampires are. Like, I gotta say, the music in the movie is so good. Like, the score for this movie is composed by none other than Ludwig Göransson, and like, obviously he also did the score for Oppenheimer, and well, I love his work on Oppenheimer, and he does a great job here once again. Honestly, I think the score in this movie is just really good. But also, kind of some of the blues music in the film, because in the movie, this club that they set up, like, this kind of all, like, blues music that they be performing. Because, like, during the era that this movie is set in, kind of blues music kind of seems to be kind of the really big thing back then. So yeah, we have, like, a fair bunch of blues songs in the movie, and, like, yeah, I gotta say, it's really good. Like, in particular, that character who I mentioned earlier, Sammy, like, honestly, a huge character in this film, like, with him, basically playing a lot of these songs. What I do find interesting, I'm pretty sure, apparently, Miles Caton, who is Sammy's actor, like, he actually learned, like, how to play the guitar for this movie, and man, he did such a good job, like, honestly. Yeah, oh yeah, he did a tremendous job with, like, the music, playing the guitar and stuff, yeah. And I will say, there's actually, at one point in the film, an Irish jig. Like, yeah, there's an Irish jig in this movie at one point. I won't get into it, but that scene where it's in, like, oh boy, I can already tell. I have a feeling that scene is probably gonna go, like, viral online pretty soon. Like, honestly, it's actually such a good scene, and it was placed really well in the movie. So yeah, the music in the film is a huge part of the movie, and yeah, I think it's just so good. Honestly, all the different kind of styles of music that we have in this movie, from Göransson's score to all the blues music and even the Irish jig that I mentioned, it's so good. And as I said, the sound effects are very good as well, so honestly, tremendous work all around. Now, in terms of the characters and the acting, now, first off, we'll start with our technically main characters. We have these two twin brothers named Smoke and Stack. There are two twins, and they're basically the two that are, setting up this whole club. Yeah, I gotta say, I really liked both of them as characters, like, both of their kind of backstories and both of the roles that they play in the movie are really good. Like, now Smoke, I feel he is technically more the main character, really. I found him to honestly be a very compelling and endearing protagonist. But I also really liked Stack's character as well. I don't get too much into like kind of what happens with his character, but I thought he was really good. And obviously, as I mentioned earlier, they are both played in a dual role by Michael B. Jordan. I've actually noticed that with a lot of movies lately, where like we'll have kind of the film's main actor, or one of the main actors anyway in the film, is playing more than one role. We've seen this in quite a few movies recently, like with films like The Monkey, The Alto Knights, and even like some other movies which I haven't gotten the chance to review yet, like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Mickey 17. We've been seeing this quite a lot lately, where the main actor in the film, or one of the actors, is playing like a dual role, or is playing more than one role. It's kind of an interesting trend that I've noticed lately with a lot of films. And this movie, of course, continues the trend by having Michael B. Jordan play two twin brothers in the movie. And honestly, I thought he was really good as both of them. Like, it seems to be that, like, you know, he'll just always work with Ryan Coogler. Like, he has starred in, like, pretty much all of Ryan Coogler's movies at this point. Like, he pretty much is, like, the Robert De Niro to Ryan Coogler's Martin Scorsese. And, like, as I mentioned, he's so good in this movie, playing both of these characters. He honestly did really well, especially with differentiating the two of them. I thought he did tremendous work here. Another character I want to mention, a character who I've mentioned twice, I think, previously in this video, Sammy, because he is a huge character. Honestly, I would argue that he's actually technically kind of the film's protagonist, like, just as much as Smoke is. I feel like he's actually kind of really our main character in this. But I gotta say, he was a very good character, like, with, like, all his characterization and, like, what we saw happen with his character in the movie. I thought it was really good and really compelling. And the actor who plays him, Miles Caton, I already mentioned how he actually learned to play guitar for this role, but something I didn't mention as well, this is actually his acting debut. Yeah, this is the very first thing that he's ever been in. Like, he has not been in anything else before this. This is literally his first time in anything. And after seeing him in this movie, I do hope that he gets more work after this, because, man, he did a really good job in this film, especially having to work alongside a lot of these rather notable names. Like, he did really good in this. Again, I'm hoping that he gets more work after this, because, man, he did a really good job in this movie. And I gotta say, the supporting cast in this movie was very good as well. Now, I don't really want to spend too much time on anyone individually, but I gotta say, the supporting cast in this film was so good, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely cares, like, about all these characters. Like, with the way the movie kind of went about them, it actually kind of shows us, like, who these people are before, like, we actually get to this party, and the movie actually delves into some of these supporting characters a bit, and they did a really good job, because, like, I actually really liked, a lot of these supporting characters. And then when all the stuff happens, when the vampires come in and stuff, I actually genuinely cared for what was gonna happen, and like if any of them were gonna make it out alive and stuff. Like, the movie did a tremendous job of actually making me care about them. And I will say the performances from all the supporting cast were really good. I won't like mention everyone in particular, but I thought like all the supporting cast in this movie did really well. I will mention some actors who I thought were very good in this. One of them being Hailee Steinfeld, who is definitely one of the more noticeable names in this. But yeah, she has a supporting turn in this movie as Mary, who is basically Stack's old flame. Yeah, honestly, I actually really liked her in this movie. Like, I have to say, Hailee Steinfeld, she was so good in this movie. Like, she actually played this role really well. Another actor who I thought was very good in this as well was Delroy Lindo. Yeah, he also has a supporting role in this movie as Delsa Slim. He's basically kind of like one of the older guys who was like at this club, and he's kind of there, like he's there's kind of playing the piano and stuff. He's kind of giving some of the tunes as well. But I have to say, I really liked his character as well. Like, Delroy Lindo honestly did a really good job in this film. And not to mention, I found him to be quite funny. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely got a lot of laughs out of his character. He was so good in this. But yeah, one more character who I have to mention is basically our villain in this movie, Ramek. He's basically the leader of the vampires. I gotta say, he was such a good villain, man. Honestly, I think he's definitely, without a doubt, the best movie villain of the year so far. Like, oh man, he was so good in this movie. Like he was actually a really good villain. Like the way that he's actually written and stuff. I don't want to delve into it too much, but oh man, he's actually genuinely a really good antagonist. And I have to say, Jack O'Connell, he gave a truly tremendous performance in this. He was so good in this movie as the main villain, yeah. I have to say, he was really good in this movie. He was actually a genuinely threatening villain, and yet a very interesting one as well with the way he was written, yeah. I thought he was so good. So yeah, overall I have to say, the characters and the acting in the movie was so good. The characters were very well written, and I actually cared about what was going to happen to them. And the acting from everyone involved was just super tremendous. So, yeah, brilliant stuff. In terms of the film's plot, like, the movie definitely has a really interesting concept. I already mentioned it's a period piece with vampires in it. But as I said, the movie does take its time actually getting to all that because it heavily focuses on the brothers setting up this club and actually showing us all these different characters who we have at the club. I gotta say, they did a great job with it. Like, honestly, it was so good. It was so well written. I cared for what would happen to the characters, and like, not to mention, it was very engaging and like, even like before we get to the stuff with the party and then the vampires come in, it's just an engaging movie all throughout, kind of showing us all this stuff. And as I said, the blues music plays a huge part in this movie, and like, especially how the movie kind of has like a bit of a metaphor for like what it actually does with the blues music and how the vampires relate to it and stuff. I actually thought it was quite subtle and very well done. It is quite a funny movie, especially some of the scenes with Delta Slim, because I really found him such an entertaining character. And like, even what it does with some of the vampires, because it's not ashamed to be a vampire movie. Like, even some, like, the whole stuff, like, what they do with the vampires, with them trying to take them out with, like, garlic and the whole stake to the heart and sunlight and stuff. This movie is not ashamed to be a vampire film. And, like, it can honestly be suspenseful, especially when, like, you're wondering, like, what will happen to the characters, will they make it out or not? And, like, even a lot of that action in the movie, because the movie actually does get quite action heavy during the film's climax, yeah. The action in the movie is really good, like, it's genuinely engaging to watch, and it's very well shot as well, I have to mention. Yeah, honestly, in terms of like all these different aspects of the movie, I thought they did a really tremendous job. Like, Ryan Coogler honestly did a truly brilliant job with the direction of this movie. So yeah, I have to say, it was superb. In terms of the film's narrative structure, like, the movie kind of does focus, like, on them setting up the club. It definitely has quite, a very narrative structure, because we have them setting up the club, we have the stuff with Sammy and, like, his music and stuff. That's a huge part of the movie as well. But then we also have all the stuff with the vampires and even kind of one or two little stuff with some of the other vampires. There is definitely quite a fair bit happening in this movie. It's even with some of the other characters' backstories and stuff. But the way that it all connects together into this one narrative, it is just so well done. Like, it really all just comes together so well. Like, and like, it all makes like a clear narrative structure, one that's easy to follow along to and is actually engaging and stuff. And like, even with all different stuff going on, it still just makes for such a good experience watching it. Like, I thought they did a really good job connecting everything together, and As I said, there's even an interesting metaphor in there with the music and how it relates to the vampires and stuff. I thought all that was kind of really well done. So, yeah, overall, I have to say, they did a fantastic job with the narrative structure in this movie. So, yeah, overall, I have to say, Sinners is absolutely phenomenal. Everything about it, the cinematography, the editing, the pace, the music, the characters, the acting, the plot, the narrative structure, how it really connects everything together, even kind of some of the smaller things like the sound effects. It was just so well done. Like, oh man, this movie is phenomenal. Like, oh boy, if you have not been to see this movie already, then you gotta just rush out, go give this movie a watch. Because, like, I know a lot of people say that, like, that we want more original movies in Hollywood, that there's too many superhero movies, too many remakes and stuff. If you don't want, like, 50 movies a year that are just unoriginal slop and stuff, movies like Sinners are the stuff that is worth your time. It is worth the price of admission. So get out there. Go see this movie. Because I guarantee you will not regret it. It is quite the experience with this film. Yeah, and like, make sure you do see it in a big screen as well, because like they're all saying, it's definitely best watching like a very big screen, like an IMAX or something. Yeah, give this movie your money back, because it absolutely deserves it. So overall, I have to say, Sinners is an absolutely phenomenal movie. It pretty much has it all like in the bag and stuff. Yeah, this is easily, without a doubt, my favorite movie of the year so far. This is the one to beat now for 2025. Oh man, I absolutely love this movie. And I think you should absolutely give it a watch. So now, with all that said, I am going to give Sinners a very well deserved 10 out of 10. So with all that said, I'll see you guys next time, and bye.